WWF. That was the big one. And I've been sending tapes in to WWF since 1982, 83, to Vince Sr. and then Vince Jr. And in the end, in 88, we got the call, and hence we went up to the WWF office, and Butch will tell you what happened there.
Yeah, Butch, I got to know that story because you guys are the Sheepherders. You're bloody, vicious, like animals. You're having crazy matches with the Fantastics, and just blood everywhere. And then all of a sudden, Vince sees you guys, and he wants to turn you into these lovable baby faces, the Bushwhackers. Kind of shocking.
John.
Yeah, what happened?
We were working with the Rock and Roll Express then in NWA, and they were the hottest babyface tag team. And we just done an angle with the Towers, Lex Luger and Barry Windham, and we get the phone call.
Yeah, and as the Sheepherders, as you know, was all blood and guts, and we were hardcore before even hardcore was called hardcore. We introduced the first barbed wire matches, which we had in Puerto Rico, all over the place. And we had New Zealand boot camp matches. Everything went. We had the glove on a pole, the steelmaker's glove and everything. And we had just wild. We had to fight our way to the ring, John. That's how much heat we had. We'd have our match, which was just a bar brawl. As you said, blood and guts everywhere. Then we'd have to fight our way back to the dressing room. A lot of times in Puerto Rico, the other wrestlers would have to rush out from the dugouts because we mainly wrestled in baseball parks, and they would rush out in the dugouts and help us fight off the public and get us back to the dugout. So that's how much heat we had. But anyway, when Vince rang up and said, come up, Reed. So Luke told me, and I was very excited. He wasn't quite so excited because he's just told you we were getting a very good push from the WCW. Finally, they had realized what they had and were going to push us pretty big. But then I said, mate, we've got to go up and talk to them. So anyway, we go up there. They bring us up on the airline, first class. They got a limo waiting for us at the airport with the chauffeur. Up to the thing, he's sitting in the office. Vince, we get escorted into the office, and we sit down. And he's, we'd never met him before. He had never met us, so he shook his hands, and he said, "Guys, I tell you what," he says, "I would love to have you guys aboard, but I'm thinking about bringing you guys in as baby faces." And we just looked at each other and thought, "Oh shit!" And then Luke, being a booker. And being an ex-booker, he piped up and he said, "Well, maybe you could bring us in as the heels and change us, do a change while we're in there," which was the normal way. And he said, "No, I'm thinking about something different. I'm thinking about bringing you in straight away as baby faces." Well, that was my cue. So I jumped up on this bloody office bench.
Yeah, tell him what. Yeah, sorry.
So I jumped up on his office bench on my hands and knees, and I went straight over to him, and I gave him a yay, and I said, "Vince, take a look at these faces." And we did the old sheepherd and bushwhacker look, and I said, "If you think you can make money with these two faces, I'm in 100%. And then Luke piped up and said,
"Yeah. I piped up and said, I know, go." Well, Butch told them to go for it.
I'm sorry.
And
Vince said,
and Vince said, "Look at with these." When Butch said these two faces, Vince said, "Look at my top baby faces: Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Hacksaw Jim Duggar. They haven't got the prettiest mugs." And when you look at those three, their mugs are fucking rough.
And John, we left his office not knowing what we were going to be. And he said, if you go back to WCW and give your notice, they fire you on the spot. He said, I'll put you on the payroll, which was more than we were making by far at WCW, just to sit at home while I work things out. So only within a few days we get this contract. And I bring up Luke and I said, Luke, did you just get something in the mail? And he said, yeah. And I said, what's this bloody Bushwackers stuff?
No, you
And he
said
said, I know, mate.
look,
I said, oh,
you
that must be our new name. And
look,
we didn't even know.
look, you said to me on the phone, they've sent the wrong contracts.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Sorry,
I
I
said,
forgot that. Yeah.
no, Vince wants to own our name because he makes money more. You know, if he changes our name, he makes more money.
So
That's awesome.
That's actually how it worked, John. And then
That's
when we went, and then we did those vignettes. He'd bring us up once a week, and we'd do a vignette or two, and then just send us home. He had us on the payroll, earning more than we were making in WCW by far, and so we were loving it already. And he never told us how he wanted us to work. He said it would be good if you could do something between halfway between the Wild Samoans and what's the other ones, Luke?
No, the Sheepherders and the Moondogs.
Oh no, he said the Wild Samoans, didn't he? But anyway, yeah. So he wanted something in between. So and then we started going to these bloody shows, the big shows, and we'd grab a beer on the way down and drink a beer or doing all this stuff, you know. And then finally, I started swinging my arms, and that was getting over real big. And Luke had a real bad shoulder. His both shoulders weren't that good, but he had a bad one and he couldn't swing that shoulder. I said, mate, if you want to make some fucking money, swing that bloody shoulder. It's going to make us money. And he swung the shoulder, and I'll tell you what, that got over more than anything. Just the marching in. And they used to love our entrance and everything going in, you know.
John,
Well,
every agent they had, they had different nights. We had different agents. Every agent wanted us to go a different way. We were a tag team. We've got to go to the ring together. But these agents had one of us coming from upstairs, walking through the crowd, coming down in the middle of the crowd from way upstairs, and the other one coming from the entrance. You know, so the people are looking here, the people are looking up there. The next agent had us doing something else. And Butch and me said, we got to come and go to the ring together. And that's when we took in the arms.
So whose idea, though? That's just you making that up, Butch? The arms? Whoa, yeah,
yes.
And the arms?
Yes, it was. Because I used to walk, because I've got bad ankles. I was born with bad ankles. And I've had bad ankles all my life. Right now, I don't have any ankles. They've taken them out completely. But because the way I walked and that, I did swing my arms a little bit. My mother used to say it was a bit like a sailor, you know, on a ship. And I just exaggerated the walk till I saw it was starting to get over, and even exaggerated it more. And then that was it. Then we had the match, and that match really helped huge to get us over.
Yeah, mate. When we were heels, John, and we're throwing out, when we're outside the ring and the TV or in the house shows, we used to swing out our arms at the fans and scream "whoa" and "yay." You know what I mean? In a wild sort of tone. Yeah. And we used to, "Hey, whoa!" You know, one of them was used to at the fans as heels, and we turned it around and did it as baby faces.
Oh man, so memorable. So when you guys are doing the vignettes, that's all WWF. I mean, that's Vince's idea. That's not you guys putting in your 2 cents of what you want to do for the vignettes.
Yes, yeah, he set the vignettes up, but he took our suggestions and how we wanted to go. One thing he did do with us, John, for the interviews, the Warrior had all his interviews and he had to learn them word for word. Same as most of the guys. With us, he never gave us interviews word for word because he said, it doesn't matter if you guys make a mistake. Who cares? You just keep on going. And that sort of thing is what got us over. So we were never told what to say in an interview, who to talk about, whatever. He would just let us go and give us, say, you've got a minute here or 45 seconds there or blah, blah. And we had full control of that. And it was the same with the those vignettes. He set up what was going, basically the basic idea, but we just let it come natural to us. And we just walked straight through it without really any prep whatsoever.